Kumusta ka mo? Hi, it's Viktoria Vox. Kakita ka lang gwapo? The one na siya? Nagpadala lang flowers, palangga ka na? Hambal lang crush ka? Crush mo man dayon? Sorry to break it to you, but that can't eat, can't sleep, reach for the stars, over the fence World Series kind of stuff feeling is not love. When your stomach goes in full somersaults, your palms are sweaty, and your knees are shaking, you're not falling in love. You're getting infatuated with someone. What you are feeling is literally a nerve reaction to someone's presence because you're attracted. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. What I am saying is that there is a big difference between love and infatuation. People are too hasty when it comes to finding love, assuming, jumping to conclusions, and acting on impulse. Love is blind. People do stupid things when they're in love. Actually, no. Love is not blind. Infatuation is. People don't do stupid things when they're in love because love keeps you sane. It makes you better. But infatuation can drive you nuts. To set the record straight, there are 3 components that make up love, as told by the psychologist Robert Sternberg. Passion, which is that fiery feeling, the romance, the attraction, kilig. Then there's intimacy. Amo naman niya ang kung ano mo gid kakilala ang isa kang isa. The depths of your bond, ang pinagsamahan na bala. And then there's commitment. This is where trust comes in, and the decision to stay together and work towards a similar goal. For it to be real and healthy, love must have those 3. So ang kilig, pag ninig sa tuhod, nga nabatyagan mo, hindi na paghigugma, infatuation lang na. It's important to know the difference because sometimes we make life-changing decisions based on those feelings. Follow your heart daw kuno. But this is such a faulty advice because feelings are fleeting. They come and they go. But your decision to stay makes all the difference. Nantawa lang bala natabo sa Tinder swindler how she flew to another country with a guy she just met. 50 Shades of Grey ang pet. Even when all her friends told her it's a red flag. Ginubraya pagyapon. But, just to be clear, we're not victim blaming here, just stating the action. Point is, people will argue that they've done that before too. But that isn't love. That's plain attraction. It's infatuation. Love tells you to take your brain with you because you need it. Love is 2 independent individuals striving for interdependence. Oo palangga niyo ang isa kang isa, pero kaya niyo man mabuhi nga wala ang isa kang isa? Wala na sang you complete me moment, ah? Wala na sang mapatay ko kung wala ka. Hindi makabuluang ang pagigugma, ah? Again, because love isn't supposed to make you feel out of control. It's supposed to feel like coming home. Before I met my now husband, I used to think that love was supposed to be a wildfire. Super good when it's great, but heart-wrenchingly painful when we're fighting. I thought that was normal. Kasi mga pelikula, muna permi, di ba? And because of what we're exposed to, we think that's what love is. Until I met my husband and I realized that it is the farthest from it. Siyempre, ginakilig man ko pero hindi 24/7 ang kilig ko, ah? I do not become less of myself because I am married to him. I do not have to lose myself to be with him. Being with him doesn't feel like I'm intoxicated with shots of tequila. In fact, it feels like a warm tea. It feels like coming home. With love, you don't make decisions based on just feelings. We make decisions based on consideration and compromise. So stop romanticizing infatuation by calling it love. It's not. Let's be clear though, there is nothing wrong with infatuation and passion, so long as you know that it's infatuation. It only gets troublesome when you blindly mistake your infatuation for someone as love. It gets dangerous when you get used to associating the high of infatuation to love. That when love actually comes along, you can no longer recognize it. Being confused whether what you're feeling is love or infatuation can bring about a number of delusional impulses, especially when you're convinced. You can even begin to reject things or ideas that defy your fantasies or ignore the red flags, which I would say is the worst thing to do. This person might be racist, sexist, or toxic, and you ignore it. If a relationship starts like that, you could just end up terribly hurt. Love and infatuation are two different things. And understandably, the infatuation is beautiful, but don't be too rash about it. Another downside is that you become more prone to love bombing, making you depend on other people's explicit love and affection. And when those grand gestures disappear, which in any long-term relationship will have its phases, you will feel unloved and lost. Nabasted ko, hindi lagi ko yung magpalangga, maskinsan. He's just so perfect. He's literally everything to me. If it's not him, it's no one. Lusha. When you don't see the line between love and infatuation, you get easily scarred from failed relationships that were never really love in the first place. You went on 3 dates. Love of your life na dayon. Ang kapangaluyag, si mo na booking mo nga may ka-date. Love na. Okay, guwapo bisya. But love didn't hurt you. It was your assumption of love. It was your blind infatuation. You chose to ignore the red flags. You chose to pursue trouble. Pila ka nagali ka beses nga ginambalan nga maghalong siya kag. Pila man katawo nagambal sa imo nga damo o pod o kung damo ka date ang gapakaluyag sa imo. Pero ti kay daw artista siya kag crush mo siya. Siyempre, di ka magpati eh. And then you get crushed. What did you expect? You ignored the warning signs. Sometimes it's also, balaan ko mabag-una siya para sa akon. Now sis, I'll stop you right there. Do not expect them to change for you or because of you. Kung umpisa pa lang, damo na red flags. Kag kung hindi mo gusto ang iba niya nga ginaubra, nagay pilit. Kay maski ano mo ka, I'll change you. Hindi na sa magbago. And the worst of it all is that you'll end up in a cycle of bad relationships because they'll all be based on infatuation. A lot of relationships have ended because of the shallow concept that the spark should never stop when you're in love. Being in a relationship isn't always sunshine and rainbows, and thus, love becomes the glue. It's hard to keep someone when all you're looking for is a specific version of them. People change, people grow, and love transcends, but that infatuation does not. All of us are bound to lose those butterflies. And supposedly, there are different things that replace that. Love, commitment, long-term goals, your future together. Nagsawa ko ano brown ko bi? No. You decided not to stay. That's what infatuation does. It flees with your emotions. It's fun while it lasts, but it's usually empty. But infatuation isn't supposed to be the villain. We just expect too much from it. If we learn that a crush is just a crush, and infatuation is just a fleeting feeling, then it shouldn't be too big of a deal. You can enjoy these happy crushes you see on TV. You can appreciate people for what they are without expecting everything else they should be. Infatuation is light and fun, and can be a good thing if you know where it begins and where it ends. If you find yourself in a confusing situation and you're not sure if you're in love or infatuated, then consider these 3 things. Do I really know this person enough to love them? Recognize what you're actually feeling. What are your intentions for your bond with this person? Asking yourself those questions reveals the state of your relationship. How far ahead have you planned together? How committed are you with one another? Are passion, intimacy, and commitment complete in your relationship? If so, congratulations. That is love. If not, then you can still work on it so it blossoms into love. Otherwise, it's infatuation. And that's okay. Be complete. Stop expecting people to complete you. Only you can do that for you. When people are promising you the world in such a short time, that's a red flag. And a move that only works for people who have a huge void in them. So before entering a relationship, make sure you are already complete to begin with. That way, you can separate infatuation from love and not associate every good feeling with love. Gather yourself first. And then your significant other will be the complement to that. It's a partnership, not a puzzle. You might end up disappointed if they don't get to fill your void, your needs, and you're not satisfied. No person is actually made for another. Your relationship ethics, your communication, and the compatibility arrangement you have for yourselves will be the judge of that. You can be with any good-looking person, but if you're not whole and not have the right wisdom and security, this will eventually end. So make sure you go looking for love when you're already whole. Relationships are held together by love, not infatuation. Remember that a relationship is work and time, and what makes it doable is not spark, but the commitment to be there with that person through life. When all you rely on is the magic of infatuation, then it's really not gonna last. It's possible to rekindle infatuation when you want to have it in an already loving relationship. You can spice it up or add some magic to what you have working. But infatuation alone cannot create love, nor can it sustain your relationship. So, this Valentine season, I hope you all find the love you deserve, because love is all sorts of beautiful. But in case love hasn't knocked on your door, don't rush. And if you're brewing a relationship, flirtation, something-tationship with someone, start with knowing your intentions. Gwapo lang gid siya? Compatible ayhan ka mo? Ga-effort ka mo pareho? Kagkumpara si mo, may pagkadtuan man ayhan ka mo? Then assess, are you complete? Or do you just need someone to love you or complete you? Ginagamit mo lang siya para ma-feel nga may kapalangga si mo? O kung kilala mo gidlawas mo kagkaya mo mabuhi nga wala siya? And lastly, if that's still a check, then take your time in exploring that potential relationship. Don't set too high of expectations. Let it unfold. And when it turns out to be love, then love fearlessly. This is the 41st episode of this makeup therapy series, and if you like content such as this, please hit the like, the share, comment your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye!